welcome to everyone that's joining us for our first ever NCAA Online Workforce Development Forum. The objectives of our forum are to highlight the NCAA initiatives that are currently going on, to provide a brief overview of the BLS projections for the workforce, to identify some of our workforce development focus areas, and then to engage in an open discussion about what the local organizations are up to, what their challenges are, and what their successes are, and what we can do at the NCAA to better serve our members. So most of you that are on the call are aware of the NCAA initiatives that are going on right now. So we'll run through just a quick highlight of each of them. Vision 2020 is a collective effort by the Brick Industry Association, Mason Contractors Association of America, and the National Concrete Masonry Association to promote masonry. The legislative conference is an opportunity to speak to members of Congress about our concerns, and I had the opportunity of participating in this in May. It was a very educational and eye-opening experience for me. It was an opportunity for us to get in front of our legislators and let them know how the legislation that they're considering affects small businesses. And it was an eye-opener for me because it surprised me how many of the legislators really had no idea how the bills and the acts and different things impact us. And most of them were willing to listen. Some of them were a little stubborn, and that was kind of fun to be a part of as well. The other thing that the NCAA is doing right now is providing educational webinars, and right now they're sponsored by the South Authority Group, but they provide training and certification for contractors and for management level employees. And finally, workforce development. And we feel that we must increase our focus on workforce development now if we expect to meet the increased demand on the labor pool that the programs listed above are aiming to generate. As further proof of the expected growth in our industry, I did a little bit of research, and I came upon the Occupational Outlook Handbook, the 2010-2011 edition. What they found here, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is projecting a 13% growth in construction and extraction by the year 2018. And I know it's hard for us to, it may be hard for some of us to accept that given the current economy and how much some of our states are struggling, how much some of our organizations are struggling, but it's what the projection is right now. And what that amounts to for the construction trades and related workers is about 808,000 jobs. So it definitely appears that it's going to be growing. And this chart that's on our screen now just shows the percentage change in total employment by different occupational groups, again, over the 2008 to 2018 time frame, which you can see there in the middle of it. Construction and extraction is definitely an industry that is going to be growing. So that brings us to workforce development. And the 4 areas where we're focusing our efforts right now in workforce development are in planning, attracting, developing, and retaining a competent workforce. And what I'll do now is highlight what we're working towards in each of these areas. Then we'll open up the call for discussion. So in the planning phase, what we're doing is we're engaging in conference calls, in forums like the one that you're participating in this afternoon, and in peer groups. And each of these things is free and open for everyone and anyone in the industry to participate. We're also having joint meetings with related organizations. For example, we met with the NCMA in June at the Skills USA event. We had a very good meeting with them. And we also met with the NCCER there at Skills USA. And we are planning on meeting with them again here in the next few weeks to talk about curriculum and some other things, finding different ways to ally or to work together with them. So what it boils down to right now is a great deal of time, money, and resources are being invested by our separate organizations, but we're all working towards the same objective. So the goal of the Workforce Development Committee right now is to combine and align our workforce development efforts. And I know this is a lofty goal, but based on the experience that I've had so far this year with these organizations, I'm very optimistic. I think that it's something that we're going to really build momentum with and have some success. So the next thing that the next focus area that we have is attracting quality candidates into our workforce. Part of that is exposing students to the benefits of construction careers at a younger age. And there's a lot of different things that are probably being done out there. Here in Arizona, we're not doing much. And my hope is that we'll be able to learn from those of you that are having success. I have found evidence through online research that there's organizations out there that are focusing their effort on early education exposure, where they're following a tiered approach. During the early elementary years, they're doing construction presentations and things like that for the young students, just to expose them, just to plant that seed of the potential for a career in construction. During the 5th and 6th grade, they're having field trips to manufacturing facilities, contractor offices, and then during the high school years, they're moving on to obviously vocational classes, career days, job site visits, internships, and things of that sort. So those are some of the things that we can do and that we can hopefully help our members do across the country to pull in a better labor pool. The other thing that we feel is very critical is promoting the industry of parents and educators. And this next bullet point is part of that, just enhancing the overall image of the construction worker. I put the picture of Mike Rowe in there. He's doing a lot right now, and we hope to be able to ally with him, learn from him, and model our message after the message that he's sending out there. For too long, we've allowed the construction worker and the mason, all those related workers, to be looked down on. A lot of people view it as a dead-end job, something to do if you're not able to make it into college. What we need to do is we need to change that. So we're looking at ways of making a difference. One of the ways that we're looking at engaging our students at a younger age is also coming up with a membership for the students, an NCAA membership for the students. This would be a low-cost membership, and we plan on meeting with the membership committee here at the mid-year meeting and talking to them about some of the benefits that we could offer them. We've considered giving them access to members-only areas of the website, maybe coming up with a shirt or a hat that we can send them, giving them access to the monthly online magazine, the Masonry magazine, and then giving them access to education courses and things like that. So once we've attracted these candidates, and as we improve our high school recruitment efforts, the next thing that we need to do is be able to develop them. And our instructors, our masonry instructors, and our training programs is where this is going to happen. Right now, our high school vocational and apprenticeship programs are using varied curricula. Some people are using our MCAA workbooks. Some people are using the NCCR curriculum. Other people are using their own proprietary curriculum. The things that they've come up with are things that have been used in the past. So our goal is for our members and training institutions to adopt a single program. And the reason we think this is important is so that our students have continuity in curriculum as they move from high school vocational programs to apprenticeship programs to college programs that potentially would offer credit or even associate degrees in construction. So that's another one of our very high priority areas right now. The other thing that we've done is, or that we're doing, is working to give our members access to a Mason tender training program. It's been a pretty good program that's been shared to us already by the Masonry Institute of Tennessee, and we're experiencing already here in Arizona a shortage in qualified Mason tenders. and I assume that it's probably happening in other parts of the country. And it's an area where we haven't really focused a lot of our training efforts on, but we really feel we could hugely benefit our industry if we have better mason tenders out there. So we will look to share our mason tender training program nationally, and hopefully find a way to include it also in our curriculum that we're using for the high school to be apprenticeship. Or maybe find a way to give credit and just provide continuity in that training as well. The other area that we need to focus on is retaining our experienced craftsmen. It's a major concern. Again, speaking from experience here in Arizona, some of our best and our brightest are due to the slowdown in construction, due to a lack of work, due to also here locally a reduction in wages. We're losing our best and our brightest. Our champion craftsmen are shifting to other trades, so we got to find ways to retain them. Again, in this case, we're considering introducing a membership for the workforce. Again, a low-cost, reasonably priced individual membership that would provide benefits similar to what we would provide for the student membership. We'd also like to introduce a formal mentoring program. That's something I don't have any personal experience with, but it's something that we'd like to develop and then be able to share with our members in the near future. The other thing that the NCAA is doing a great job of is the continuing education for management and contractors. We'd like to filter that down to our workforce as well, so we can come up with just online webinars, little training classes and things of that sort to keep our craftsmen up to date on all the latest construction practices, emerging technology, all those types of things, so they can maintain their interest and we can raise the level of professionalism of our workers out there. So that is the brief PowerPoint. With that, I'd like to open up the discussion to those of you that are out there doing some training, to share with us any of these bullet points. What is your local organization doing? What kind of success are you having? What kind of challenges are you faced with? And what can we do to help each other?
Any volunteers to tackle one? Andy, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the transitional stuff you might be doing, or what you guys are doing for training out in Tennessee at all?
Sorry, I left y'all just for a second to catch a
that's okay.
Project manager here. Well, we just switched our apprenticeship program over to ABC, and we're going to, we interviewed instructors, and our instructors will be NCCR certified, and we're about to begin a brand new apprenticeship program that'll be basically non-union. And our existing union apprentices have all basically topped out or about to top out, and we're really looking forward to it. We're talking about doing it in Kentucky and Middle Tennessee at the same time. We already have a training program going on in East Tennessee through a local masonry association there. But and then we have started our mason tender training stuff back up that we had kind of mothballed it because of the economy, and not that the economy's taking off again, but we've had enough attrition in our manpower that we are hiring inexperienced people that need to see the training that we have to offer. So that's kind of.
I got a quick question for you, Andy. As you guys made the transition from the training program that you were using before to the ABC NCCER program, what was the timeline? Was that a lengthy process transitioning from one to the other, or was that pretty simple?
Well, I made it relatively simple because I let all the apprentices top out that were in the union JATC program. And so, I mean, it was just, I mean, I'm still in the midst of a legal battle with the union, so they may be coming after me, but I've already got it started, so I might as well stir it up all the worse. So.
And as far as getting,
sorry, go ahead.
As far as getting your instructors NCCER certified, was that a fairly simple process as well?
Well, we're blessed that our ABC chapter here in Nashville has a trainer that can certify them. It's going to cost $500 per instructor, and it'll cause them to have to go to 3 days of intense seminar. But I think it'll be worth it. They'll be certified to be instructors, and the ABC pays our instructors a nice hourly stipend on a moonlight basis, so they can be our supervisors and then teach classes at night and get a 1099 from ABC. That's kind of cool.
Sure.
Todd, would you care to share anything at all with you and what's going on, or sure have questions for the group at all on challenges or anything?
Yeah, no, I would speak to the third and fourth questions there about challenges you're faced with. But one is, you know, for those that don't know me, I'm an instructor at a technical college, post-secondary institution in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and it is a one-year program, 9-month training program. The curriculum I developed myself using Delmar's Masonry Skills book and then the Modern Masonry book, and worked my curriculum around that, and things that I had used when I was a student at vocational school in Minnesota. But currently our college is in the last 2 years twice has put my program on the chopping block because of low enrollment. They did a study looking at enrollment and put a number to it by, you know, coming up with a cost per student and a bunch of different pieces of data they looked at, and wound up and gave my program, I was second to the bottom, so to speak, of 55 programs that our college offers. And so then that was a big red flag, and we did this big marketing blitz and campaign and Google ads and increase the visibility of our website. And last year, a year ago at this time, filled the program with 14 students, which is all I have for capacity in my shop space. And then so that was very successful, I thought. And then now again this year, all of a sudden it was red flagged again because they thought that I was going to have low numbers for this fall. And I wound up with 9 students, which obviously is not a full class. But there's still discussion about cutting my program because they think it's not producing. And however, we just put a $4 million addition on our school. That was a 2-story all masonry addition, which I found kind of ironic, but who's going to build it if they cut the programs? But all of our building trades programs are down. We have a construction, wood manufacturing, a cabinet making program, and an architectural commercial design program, and their numbers are actually worse this year than mine are as far as the number of new students. So it's a challenge, you know, just trying to avoid the chopping block first off. Of course, all the health programs are bursting at the seams, and everybody wants to be a cop, and that program's bursting at the seams. But as far as manufacturing and building trades, those programs right now are low enrollment, and so we're just trying to get our administrators. I've been to a couple of board meetings and had conversations with administration about trying to ride out this recession that we're in. And there isn't a lot of work around here, so the students, when they do graduate, they're having a tough time finding a job in the masonry field. I do have to give kudos, though, to the masonry organizations in the state of Wisconsin, between the WCMA, or the Concrete Manufacturing Association and the Brick Distributors of Wisconsin and the Portland Cement Association, and the contractors in the area have all written letters of support for the program and the training, and asking the college to reconsider and help or hold on long enough to ride this out. But it's really nip and tuck. It's made it through last year, and I have a job this year. But again, we have a meeting in about a month here where they'll be looking at the data again, and it's quite. And my supervisor already told me, he said, I'm quite nervous for your program. So I don't know why they continue after the masonry program, but I may be calling on some of you folks from MCAA to help solicit supports to say we need these kinds of programs.
Yeah, we just affiliated with the WMA up there too, Todd. So anything we can do, get that, whatever we can do to help you out with that, would be, we'd be more than happy to do that. So just let us know. Do you guys help with the additions when they do the additions? Do you put your students on those jobs at all?
No, that we're not able to because it was a contracted project, but we do projects around the college. We've had some very high visibility projects. We have built big signs for them, numerous patios, small additions for storerooms, and then we also are out in the community with a lot of community projects. Habitat for Humanities, we built 8 basements, 1 a year for the last bunch of years, and other nonprofit organizations, baseball, football organizations benefit from our project. So that is all, I think, really good marketing for the college, but they just keep coming back to the almighty dollar at the end and saying, sure. Well, look at this price per student. But yeah, WMA, though, too, I forgot to mention that. That's kind of who I was referring to when I said WCMA, but now they've changed. Sure. And they've worked towards creating this WMA, Wisconsin Masonry Alliance, which was a good move, I think. All these different organizations, as Maroney alluded to at the beginning, everybody's ultimately got the same goal, but everybody was going and doing their own thing. And so Bob Roerig with County Materials has been real instrumental in trying to pull everybody together, that different businesses, but all having the same goal.
Sure. Yeah, anything we can do to help you out up there, just let us know. Even if you have a meeting or something, we're not too far from you guys down here, so we'd be happy to do whatever we needed to do to help you guys out. Maybe even bring in some other, because I'm aware of some other college-type programs and technical college-type programs around the country that have done pretty well, and if we can set you up with some of those folks and discuss experiences, that would be good too. I know one of them was from Pennsylvania. They have a pretty big group out there of instructors. They weren't able to make this call because this happened to be their first day of instruction. But they should be on the next call once we get a second one.
Okay, and I'm sorry. And who is this speaking?
This is Jeff Buckowitz over at MCAA. So.
Yep. All right.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to share, or words of advice or wisdom?
I had to have a question as we've got people on the phone from around the country. What's the work market? What's the job market like going on in other parts of the country?
Maroney, do you want to touch on that at all, or Andy, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, sorry, I had myself muted there for a second. Here in Arizona, we are seeing a definite improvement in the quality of projects that are bidding. There are some nicer jobs out there, nicer masonry work being built or being bid. Still being cautiously optimistic about it really being a serious pickup, but we are starting to see a little bit nicer work out there to chase anyway. It's very difficult to catch it these days. Our competition out here has been very abusive of the workforce, and being able to match numbers with them is close to impossible a lot of the time. So that's our struggle down here right now.
Andy, how about Tennessee?
I would say pretty close to what we had a real sad-looking first half of the year, and we had a comeback towards the end, which will make us complete the year at about the same as we did in 2010, which was down about 45% from our peak. And it looks, we're just hoping and praying 2012 will roll out to stay about the same as it has been in 10 and 11. There are some things being built in Tennessee, and we do have a little bit of backlog, and we're just hanging on and grateful for that.
And I would say, Todd, that the rest of the country pretty much is in the same boat. There's not a lot of big high spots out there. We were supposed to have another 6 folks on the call this afternoon. Unfortunately, they're not here. But it's tough. It's still tough there. We see slight improvements in certain markets, and some things getting a little better in some places, but nothing has quite broken yet. 2012, they're saying might be a little better than this year, but they do say 2013 might be the better year too. Then that might be a breakthrough year. But they've been saying a few years out for quite a few years now. So hopefully they'll stay true in the 2013.
Well, I hope I'm still around to see it. So.
Yeah, we hope you're still there too. And anything we can do to help you there, let us know.
Yeah, it sure will, Jeff.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and we will talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.